Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley with Brindle Babe Designs, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the Forever Fall crochet sweater. It's a beginner level pattern. It's very easy to work up, and it's actually very quick to work up for a sweater because of the type of stitch we're going to be using. What you're going to need for the materials: you will need a 8mm crochet hook. I am using the Furl Streamline Ebony, and then the yarn I am currently using for this video is Lion Brand's Color Made Easy and the Weight 5 Bulky, and I'm using colors A, B, C, and D. So color A is pomegranate, color B is mineral yellow, color C is avocado, color D is kombucha. You'll also need a tapestry needle, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. Now, a little disclaimer here. Unfortunately, I've just heard that Lion Brand is discontinuing this line of yarn, Color Made Easy. But I did check, and you still can purchase it at Joann's, which two of the colors for this sweater are exclusive to Joann's, but I'm sure that's only going to be for a limited time. If you're missing any of these materials, I will link everything below. Okay, now to get started with the pattern, I am going to be making the size medium for this tutorial. So if you want to make any other sizes, I have this pattern in sizes extra small up to 3X. Be sure to check out my blog where I have the full instructions and all the different sizes. Okay, so to get started, you are going to chain a total of 56 stitches, and you are going to treble crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And you're going to go ahead and treble each stitch across. If you don't already know how to work a treble crochet, I will link a tutorial below that I made that is a little bit slower and step-by-step for you to check out. It's really simple, just an added step to a double crochet essentially. Alright, now moving on to row 2, we're going to move on to our color B. And you can see here how I do my color changes, so it's a little bit hidden and it's just a little cleaner in my eyes. You'll just rip back like one part of your last stitch and attach the yarn, and then you're just gonna chain 3 and treble crochet all the way across. And you're going to repeat that row number 2 until you have a total of 18 rows. Each row is going to be the same. The only difference is you're just going to change the color. And as you can see here, my color sequence went from pomegranate, the yellow, avocado, and the kombucha burnt orange color. But feel free to get creative and do whatever colors you like. Alright, now, so moving on to our shoulder shaping, you are going to work 18 stitches on both sides. And you're going to work your stitches from the outside going in, and you're going to mirror this on both sides. And then you're going to work a total of 2 rows for this shoulder shaping on each side. So once you've split your collar, your space for your collar, you're only going to work 2 treble crochet rows for the shaping. Alright. Alright, so this completes your front panel. So you're going to want to make another panel for your back panel, and it's going to be the exact same steps that I just went over with you. And then next we're going to go over our collar. Alright, now before we start our collar, you're going to want to seam your shoulders together from your front panel and your back panel, so that then we will just attach our yarn and work in the round for our collar. So line up your front panel and back panel and seam the shoulders at the top together. And this is the way that I do my my seaming, but you can use your preferred method. So what I do here at the end, when I finish the last row, I'll leave a long tail so that I can seam the shoulders at the top together. So what I'm gonna do is just take the 2 bars at the top, you can see the stitches here, and pull them through each side, so the front panel and the back panel. And then I kind of zigzag out. So then the next set of stitches, you'll just go under the 2 bars on both sides and pull it through. Now to start our collar, you're going to attach your yarn to the center of the shoulder seam here. Either side shoulder doesn't matter. And then you're going to chain 1 and single crochet evenly around, and you're going to work a total of 60 stitches. So single crochet 60 stitches around. So you can see here as you're working, we're at the end of a treble crochet row from our panel, and I just work 3 single crochets in this space, and then you get to a space where it just works like a normal row at the front here, and you'll just work normal single crochets in each of those stitches. So I make sure to try and keep it as even as possible going around, so that everything lines up correctly. Once you get to the end of this first row, you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch. Now working row 2 of your collar, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to double crochet into each stitch around. And now you will slip stitch to join your first stitch together at the end of your row. And now going on to row number 3, you will chain 2, and then you're going to work a front post double crochet, and then the next stitch will be a back post double crochet, and you'll repeat that until you get to the end. So front post, back post. And doing this is going to create the rib for your collar. And once again, once you get to the end, you're going to slip stitch to join, and you're going to repeat row 3 again. So chaining 2, front post double crochet, and then back post double crochet. Once you've finished your row 4 in your collar sequence, you're just going to slip stitch to join, and then cut your yarn, and that'll finish up your collar. Okay, now on to our sleeves. I neglected to show in this video how I determined my size of my sleeve depth. But all you're gonna do is take like a tape measure from the top down, and to get your depth. And for the medium size, armhole depth is 7 inches. So I measured down to this green color, and that got me 7 inches. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make a slip knot and attach my yarn here. And so to begin, I'm going to chain 3. And we're going to be working in the round here, going up and around. So this will be the base of our armpit hole. So for your, when we're working your sleeves, the beginning chain 3 is going to count as a stitch here. And so we're going to go ahead and treble crochet. I do 3 in each of the color sections here. So it'll be like the end of the rows from your panel, as you can see here. And then I'll work another 3 in the next color section and do that all the way around. And once you get back to the beginning of this row, you're just gonna slip stitch at the top from your first stitch, and then you're going to chain 3 and treble crochet around. For the second row, you want to definitely change your color, so you'll just do that the same as you have worked up the entire way. Okay, so I went on ahead here, but I want to make sure to tell you that for each of the next 10 rows you're gonna work, you want to decrease 1 stitch in each row. And I did my decrease at like the beginning of each row, just so it would be the back side of my arm, so it would be, you know, underneath my arm, kind of hidden in case it looks any weird. Okay, so up to this point you should have a total of 11 rows. We're now going to go on to the ribbing that goes around the wrist. So you're going to do your color change, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to work double crochets all the way across. At this point in this row, you should have a total of 20 stitches. If you don't, you may have forgot or added too many decreases, so make sure that you have 20 stitches at this point. So once you finish with your double crochet row, you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch, and then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do a front post double crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to work a back post double crochet, just like we did on the collar. You'll do that all the way around, and you will repeat this front post and back post double crochet row 2 more times after this. So you want a total of 3 of these rows, or until you've reached your desired length. Once you've finished here, you're gonna just do a slip stitch and cut your yarn. The next step will be to seam up the sides of your sweater. So you'll just go ahead and, starting from the bottom, working up to the base of your armpit, you'll seam up both sides. And then you want to make sure, I know there'll be a lot of ends with all those color changes, but you'll have to tie those off, cut them off, weave them in. But once you're done with that, you can turn your sweater inside out and you're all finished. Thanks so much for following along. I hope you love this pattern as much as I do. I hope it was as enjoyable for you as it is for me. Just because of how quick it is. I could literally make this in the weekend. But thanks so much. Be sure to follow my channel and find more patterns on my blog at brindlebabe.com.